Hey, you guys, this is Tanya, the Awakened Empath, coming in for another download that I have to share with you all. It's been a while, been a few days, probably a couple of weeks since I've been on. Y'all know I don't post often, um, mainly because I'm busy, and then the other thing is I just don't like to record. So I'm getting past that. I kind of wanted to come on today because I feel like with this collective energy that we're in right now, it's a little heavy for some people, especially those of us who are in a spiritual I hate to say the spiritual community but for lack of a better term, that's what I'll use today. um Mainly because there are holidays that roll around every few months, and people put a lot of emphasis on them. They also put a lot of expectations on the holidays, and we all know expectations sometimes lead to disappointment because nobody can read minds. Also, the other reason is those of us who are chosen, or those of us who have been on this journey for a while, especially those of us who are single, and or those who are in a relationship but just not, it's not like you would like for it to be, not necessarily miserable, but being called to do certain work and being into the spiritual side of things kind of makes it a little weird if your partner is not into it. And it also makes it hard for you to express things sometimes. And you also, being an empath, will take in some other people's energy sometimes too. So we're going to cover all that today, starting with making sure that you're covering yourself so that you don't absorb other people's projections and their energy or whatever, because we do have a lot of heaviness around this time. Not everybody is excited about Valentine's Day or any other holiday for that matter. Some people not even excited about special personal holidays such as anniversaries and birthdays and, things like that. So we need to make sure that we're protective of our energy, and also go inward to see what it is about the certain holidays that do grieve you, and get into a space where you know what's yours and what's not yours. Personally, I lost, well, I hate to say lost because I don't think we really lose people, but my grandmother transitioned in 2002 in February, and she was buried around Valentine's Day. So it's kind of it's gotten better over the years, but it still does, I'm gonna think about it because I love my grandmother, but I have ancestor altars, so I do talk to her quite frequently if I can. Like, at least I do offerings, and I acknowledge her, as well as others that that have gone in transition to the other side. I also have a child that transitioned in 1997. Um, that is pretty hard, even though it's been a long time and it wasn't in the traditional sense of like, okay, you have a baby and then you raise the baby and the baby has its own personality or whatever. No, I really believe that people come into this realm when their soul gets into their body. When you're conceived, in my opinion, you're a human. You're a person at that point, in my opinion. I don't believe that you should wait until a person takes their first breath of air to consider them to be a person. So that's why I don't really get into like actual born day birthdays and different things like that. I really honestly believe that when you're conceived, you are a person. And when your soul, for the people that do have souls, comes into your body, usually that's around, probably like a few days in. You know, some people even like they are immediately there. They choose to go and they just go. It can happen different ways. I'm not gonna get into that. All I'm gonna tell you is that I consider my child to be my child as soon as I found out that I was pregnant. So having a terrible miscarriage, I almost bled to death, was hard. That was hard to get over. It took me a really, really long time. I thought it was something that I did wrong. All these different things. Her name is Kalisa. I know, you know, who it is because when I finally found out that I should acknowledge this child and make sure that just because she's not in a body on this side, that I don't forget about her and act like she never existed and things like that, because most of my family don't even know, like my relatives don't even know that I even had that to happen. I wasn't really close to them, still really not at this point close to a lot of relatives. I go through a lot of things I never tell anybody about. Anyway, this time of the year is it's a little rougher than most times for me. And I'm an empath, so I feel other people's things going on too. So I tend to kind of have to create things in my, you know, like create things to go and do or just get in a creative energy. I did a lot of sewing, meditation, different things like that, different types of meditation, and most of all gratitude, because I feel like each one of the people that we come into contact with or that we encounter or that comes through our lives are there for a reason. And I'm grateful for the years that I had with my grandmother because she taught me so much and she left me so many mantles when she transitioned, and she has since then been protective and been very informative and been very helpful on my walk in this spiritual journey that I'm on. And as far as my daughter, the rude awakening that I went through at the time that she transitioned has helped me to be a better person, because I ended up, as a result of that, going into being more of my mothering energy toward my older daughter, my firstborn. It did help with that, and it also helped me to open up to other children who are not biologically mine. And I went on to actually take kids off the street. I had two more children of my own biologically. I helped raise stepchildren when I was married, and I'm still connected to them and this to this day. So don't necessarily see it as a sad thing. I just, but I, in a way, it is kind of like I sometimes I wonder, you know, what life would have been like and what her life would have been like, what would her personality be like, and things like that. So, I mean, you know, it's normal for me to think I do have a human side, although I know I'm not normal, regular. I am human. In a lot of areas, I live in a body, so I'm going to have emotions and different things. And those of us who practice spirituality need to be more easy with ourselves when it comes down to us being emotionally mature, because emotional maturity brings about a change in the way that you handle people, in the way that you handle situations when they happen. No, we do not view death the same way as most people. We know that this is not the end all to be all. We know that this dimension in this realm is not, it's not the end all. And I'm just gonna leave it like that because I don't want to go too far down the bunny trail, or the bunny hole, whatever, rabbit hole. But I will say this, it's very important at this time to be mindful of how you feel. Feel things, but don't let them overtake you. You can recognize it and feel it, and then instantly you can compartmentalize the thought, and you can become more grateful for things. Like the way that I get through things is by being grateful for what I do have and the time that I have had with people. And even if it's somebody that's not pleasant, like even the narcissistic people, the greater narcissists and all of them, which I don't want to talk about them today, but yeah, even me coming into contact with them actually helped me to become who I am and sharpen my skills and get to a place where I'm very confident in who I am, especially it's just all around. Like I'm more confident spiritually, mentally, and physically. Like I literally am a new person, and I'm happy about that. And they help me in the most traumatic way possible to become that person. And the way I think of it is that some things are painful, but if you allow them, they can help you to heal you and face yourself and meet yourself in a level that you can do for yourself and take care of yourself. And then you'll attract people to you that are better suited for you, and you're better suited for them. This is not all about everybody else, and I'm just like this victim sitting in the middle of stuff. I like to check my own energy too. I like to make sure that I'm not around other people around when I feel certain ways until I get under control, because I refuse to be that person that makes others feel bad, especially at a time like this when they may be having a great time and they may be enjoying their significant other, or they may be preparing something. I mean, today is like whatever the bowl, Super Bowl, or whatever it is today. Not I don't know what it is. Something going on with football today. I'm not a sports fan, but there are people who are being, enjoying things. And I get invited to a lot of stuff, but sometimes I don't go. And not because I don't want to be around other people. It's just that I process things differently. And I don't have any room to feel other people's pain right now. And so to keep from risking it, I just don't go. Like, I don't want them to feel mine, but I do not want to feel anybody else's. I don't want to talk about people's problems all the time. It's like, I know I'm a healer and different things, but me having a normal conversation with someone about things that don't have anything to do with spiritual things per se, people don't normally talk to me about much else. I mean, it's kind of hard actually. I really don't. I don't get mad about it because I know it's who I am. It's not just what I do. Also, I think that that's the only thing people see about me. They don't see me as a regular person. They don't see me as having, I guess, I don't know. I guess they just think I sit and wait on them to talk about their problems, not necessarily deal with mine. I don't know. Or to help them in some way, which I'm a helper, I'm a healer. I do help people. But at the end of the day, I'm really here for my own development too. Helping people is part of my development, but it's not the entire thing. I'm supposed to have some bliss and some joy and happiness too. I know we recently, the last time, I think we talked about being selective about who we're with. And this is the next thing. I want you to be so spiritually attuned and in touch with your higher self and your guides and different things, so that you don't let temporary emotions make you or lead you to make a permanent mistake. You can be the entire package all in one and be great, like be the catch of a person's life. Like, I would say one in a million, but I wouldn't even say one in a million. One of a kind would be more like it. And if you have been working on yourself and you're single and you're waiting, or you're not really coming across the people that you want. Don't let like a time like now when we're alone. Alone does not mean necessarily that you have to be lonely, and it also does not mean that you need to get bored enough to go entertain situations that you know are not good for you. Have fun, but don't get attached. This is the time of the year when people get attached and go off and feel this warm, mushy feeling, and they get into some situations they probably shouldn't be in, situationships that they probably be sorry they got into. Not to mention it's tax season, so you know people just showing up from out the blue. Like you see people booed up and cuffed up that you don't never see with nobody at tax season, especially if they have dependents. But I'm gonna leave that alone. I kind of just wanted to make sure that people don't go into like letting you being bored or feeling pressured by your peers and things like that. For you to go and hook up with somebody or get into a situation with somebody that you probably shouldn't be in. Now, if the chance comes around and the vibe is right and everything is, you know, good, I really do believe that there are couples that are coming together at this time. I do believe that there are divine unions taking place at this time, but just remember that we're not really on the same vibration as people who link up with folks just out of sheer entertainment or because they don't want to be alone or because they're afraid to face themselves. No, we're enjoying our lives already. Most of our days, good outweighs the bad, and we learn from every day. So we're not miserable and lonely. It's just that we happen to be living our lives alone until the person that we're meant to be with or that we want to share our time with comes along. Do not be that total package that ends up at the wrong address, being kicked around and mishandled by people who know nothing about what your purpose is and what you're supposed to be for. They have no idea how valuable you are and that you're priceless. They don't know. I mean, so I'm getting more into being selective and thinking about what it is that I want versus just sitting around and see what comes to me, because sometimes what attracts to me, that comes to me is in need of help. I attract a lot of people who are in pain, people who really need help, even though sometimes they have no idea that they need help. I attract people like that because I mean, I'm a light and I'm a healer, and people think, oh, you attract to you what's in you. Yeah, sometimes you do, and sometimes you attract what needs you too. Like, you'll attract people that, or situations that are fixer-uppers because you're a person that fixes things. And one of the main things that we need to keep in mind is fixing ourselves. If you help other people, you have to make sure that you fix yourself first. You have to make sure you're constantly doing something to better yourself for your sake and the sake of the people that you're around. And you need to be healthy and whole. No need to like be hard on yourself, but be healthy and whole, so that and part of that is being selective. You speak out in detail, write it down, even what it is that you're looking for or what it is that you would desire in a person or a partner or even friendships, a job, a business, whatever. I've been manifesting things on purpose for a while now, and although I've gotten better at it, I still have not perfected some of the things. I'm learning how to ask for things in specific ways because, get this, y'all, coming out of a lack mindset has been real. Coming out of a mindset where trauma and being neglected has made it so that I was willing just to do whatever to get by and be comfortable. Looking at things as though what I want does not exist, so I have to take what comes to me, or looking at things like having a limited mindset, I found out that I didn't even know what I wanted because I was so busy putting things together and fixing people and taking and being grateful for just whatever, and not even realizing that if I had my pick, what would I choose? Like, if I could get anything I wanted, what would I choose? Because that's what we have to do. We have to call in exactly what we want and then be patient enough to wait in patience, not dwell on it, not harp on it every day, not be looking all over the place for it, none of that. No, you say what you want and walk off. It's not your responsibility. You put it down, say what it is that you want, and be grateful for every stage and phase you go through getting to that point. Sharing my story is one of my things that has helped me to hear myself when I'm asking for things. It also has helped me to see how traumatized I was and how PTSD had framed my world to the point where I didn't even know what I wanted, like, or felt like I was able to get it, like, just kind of stuck. So I get it when people are in pain. I get it when people are leaving bad situations and going on to something else and not really knowing what to ask for because you're so used to being just given what somebody else wants you to have. Um, you're used to being around people that they want you to pour into them and give them what they need while they give you what they want you to have or give you what they feel like they can spare. Meanwhile, you're giving and pouring into everything. And so I thought about that and I said, oh my God, I've been going through life just taking whatever comes to me. And I'm not saying that it's all been bad, but it could have been better had I known that I could choose. I really can choose. Like, and even if it looks impossible, I can still dream. I can still write it down. I have an innovative spirit that was stifled out by trauma. And I think a lot of us have had different traumas, or somebody tell you early on, that's not possible. That's not, don't let somebody else's fear, insecurities, and limitations make you not go for what you want. There's so much stuff to go for. And even so, getting back to what I know, I'll go all over the place, y'all. I'm doing this because I'm talking to this camera versus an actual person. So I am like getting used to it, but I'm telling you from my heart what I'm really seeing, what I really feel, and how I feel like some other people, it might help them, because those of us who, again, who are different, like you're unique in a sense where most people don't even understand that how you function and how you operate, how you're wired. And people who are very empathetic tend to pretty much put other people's feelings before theirs, and there's a reason for that, because we feel other people's pain too and joy. So if everybody around us is happy, then it's easier for us to be happy. But you can get in trouble doing that, because some people are determined to be miserable, and the more you're around them, the more they're going to pull on you, because they're vampires and they see that you're going to try to make them feel better. So of course they're going to always have a freaking problem for you to solve in order to make them feel better. The catch is, by the time you get done catering to them, you're now weak, exhausted, and don't even feel good. All your energy is gone for things that you would like to do for yourself, and you don't even want to see these people coming anymore. It's so tiring sometimes, and I understand, which is why I come on here and talk to you all as if I'm a big sis, or a friend even, because some of us don't have regular friends. Like, we have people that we love very much, but they don't understand us, and we can't even talk to them about like simple things that we go through on a daily basis, because they will never understand it. They will never understand it from your perspective. They don't have any idea what you go through. It's very rare that you run into people like that. This is why I even have this platform to begin with, because I know that I wish I had had someone kind of wired like me around sometimes, not all the time, just for me to just like be dependent on them to make me feel better, but just so that I can have a conversation without having to explain things that are so simple and so surface level to me, but seemingly so deep to everybody else. It's just like not deep. And having regular conversations with people about mundane things is so annoying at times when sometimes I don't want to deal with the mundane things because I'm not really a mundane human. So talking to me about stuff that really does not matter, or really just I'm thinking about stuff that's way more important that nobody's even asked about or brought up, or don't even want to acknowledge this even real or even happens, you don't have normal conversations. So that's why I'm here. Also, the fact that people that do know a little bit about me know that I can see through bullshit a mile away, a lot of miles away actually. I know it when I see it. And they constantly feel judged around people like us. And the thing is that what they don't realize is I only see the messages that the divine wants me to see, or things that I ask about. Trust and believe. I'm not just sitting there asking about everybody in the room because I do not want to know people's business like that. I don't want to be involved. I don't want to get into all those different energies. There is a code of ethics when it gets down to people like me. Now, while most people, some people with these gifts or these abilities that they have sharpened do use them for things that I don't necessarily agree with, it ain't worth it for me, y'all. I'm not looking for nobody's business or none of that type of stuff, but people do believe that you can see through them. And usually folks who are not honest or authentic, or people who are, got some issues, and especially people that have something against you for no reason, they really don't want to be around you. It makes them very uncomfortable. People who are very private and like to hide things are very uncomfortable around people like me. For what reason, I have no idea, because again, I don't want to know your business. I get paid to do what I do when I'm doing personal sessions because it takes so much energy for me to do it, and it costs me time from my life. I ain't getting ready to do that for free. Unless the message is just given to me, I ain't going looking for it. So, but people don't understand it, and I'm sure you probably face the same thing if you're intuitive, psychic, or healer or something. People just automatically think that you're there for them one way or the other, whether you're there to judge them, look through them, find out their business, or fix the problem that you already told them a million times because they asked. People will resent you for helping them, especially the people that actually need the help. Sometimes that happens. So I don't want, again, to be, in people's business. I don't. So I don't check up on people. But people think you do just because you're gifted, which makes it sometimes a little bit more difficult for you to be able to have friendships or connections, because people feel like your gift is very intrusive. They never think about the fact that their energy is intrusive to you, though. That's the thing they don't think about. They don't want you to judge them. And the thing is even when I see things that are unlike things that are not all that nice about people, I'm never gonna be that person that just sit up there and be judgmental off the rip and say a whole lot of ugly things about people. I might see it, but I know I have issues myself, so I'm not really judging it. And if a person has not asked me for help, I am really learning more and more to not give out unsolicited advice, and to stick, if there's something that's if it's a sticky situation, just to kind of leave it alone unless I'm asked to deal with it. And even if I'm asked to deal with it, my first question needs to be to that person: what are you going to do with the information once you get it? Are you going to use it? Because if not, then there's no point and no reason for me to even talk to you about it, because you're going to be held accountable for what it is that you know now. And when you don't follow instructions, all hell is going to break loose and you are going to be held accountable on levels that you really probably are not ready to deal with. So if you're only questioning me so that you can find out somebody else's actions or motives, then I suggest you don't ask, because you can cause a tower moment in your own life by knowing information that you're not willing to deal with. So getting back to what I was saying before I jumped off into that whole thing, just don't get bored enough to go and do something crazy. Don't do it. I know it's hard sometimes, especially like I said, for the singles and the celibate people and different things, but we face this shit all the time. This is something we go through all the time. Do not let these little special man-made holidays come up and make you go do something crazy that you're going to have to pay for a long time. You might not be able to cash that check. What if you don't have enough in you to deal with that right then? I do want to pull some cards. I sat down and forgot to grab them. I do not edit, so y'all excuse me. You're just going to have to watch out for Fanny, as Lulu, I love, on the House of Oshun. I love her. She always says this, and she has to stand up. Watch out for Fanny. I'm coming, y'all. I am going to do a Valentine's Day spread as well. Not right this minute, but I am going to do one. Sorry, y'all. Excuse me. I'm looking a mess because, I mean, well, not a mess, but I'm not dressed because I didn't plan to go outside. So it's raining where I am. It's been storming all day. Let me fix this. And I am working on getting my setup squared away too, y'all. Rose quartz and speaking about the baths, do yourself like a self-care bath, self-love bath too. Rose quartz, I think I talked to y'all about rose quartz before. It's been really on my mind a lot lately. And Himalayan salt, like the pink one. Celtic sea salt is good too, though. Depends on what you're doing. Right now, we need to be manifesting things or materializing things, writing down and being exact about what it is that we want and get into the feeling of it, because words are powerful, but the feeling of something is even more powerful. I just been putting bliss on a piece of paper. I'm just going to put bliss, a blissful life on a piece of paper. And I'm doing that manifestation word for it. Because if you don't know what it is that you would like, because you haven't really experienced it in this realm, it's kind of hard to get into the feeling of. And the closest thing that most people think of to bliss is like sex or having a baby, like, or something like a loved one, you know, seeing your loved ones, your children or something like that, or accomplishing something like graduating from a certain thing or whatever class is, something like that. So if you don't hold on to whatever blissful feeling you felt with that particular thing, and then think of it and see yourself in the predicament where, or in the situation that you desire. Part of my story is I went from, I went through this really hard time and I had to rebuild myself and rethink things and come back up, and I have been having to be patient with myself. One of the things that I had to do was learn how to manifest money again. So the good part about me learning how to manifest finances and to be cared for and be provided for was me getting my mind back out of the state of lack when I went through, the trauma that I went through and had to close my businesses and different things like that. I don't think I was ever really clear and free from a lack mindset. Most people have that especially people that I know, even if they have material things, they still have a lack mindset because they're very greedy. Greed is because you feel like you need everything because you're scared that you won't be with something and that you're going to miss out on something. And usually that's a lack mindset. You think if you don't keep everything to yourself, that you won't have things. It's where hoarders and things like that. It's a lack mindset. So just having a lack mindset does not mean that you lack things. It means that your mindset is not that of abundance where and you're comfortable that you're provided for and cared for and your needs and wants will be met, that you don't have to be afraid that you'll have to go without things. So I just thought I'd throw that out there that it will probably benefit you to do that. Burn some candles or incense, things like that. Orange, rosemary, lavender, different things like that. Cloves and cinnamon are good. I like cloves and cinnamon to dress like candles with if I'm doing prayers for manifestation. Also floor washes with that. And if anybody's been in your house who was ho-hum and down and out or having some issues, please remember to sage or cleanse when those people leave your home. That has happened to me recently. And I was wondering why I was all right 1 minute and then the next minute I wasn't. Okay, I did some hair. I do hair as well. And I had a customer who's going through a lot. And it's not her fault that she's going through some of this stuff, And she had just come in from traveling. So not only did she have energy on her from her travel, she also had energy on her from what was going on. Her children were throwing her fit, her grandchildren, just different things. So I got into a little funk and didn't know why. Well, that's it. I haven't even been to the gym like I normally do or anything. You have to be careful about who you tell things to and what energy they are in. And you have to be mindful of taking on other people's energy and cleanse. You cannot do too much cleansing. I take some type of spiritual cleanse every day, even if it's just in the shower. But I'm learning that I have to do it now, sometimes even twice a day, depending on what time of the day it is. And I'm constantly putting something on. Not that I really need things external to me that protect me, but it does make it a little easier when I have things that I know scientifically help and spiritually. So be careful with that too. I'm just throwing everything out there. We got a variety. We got like a whole lot going on this video, but it's okay. It's okay. Take what you need and leave the rest. I'm talking to a lot of people, so I'm talking about a lot of situations. So I have to say whatever my spirit is coming up with. And sometimes my spirit come up with things for different people. I also channel people's ancestors or their spirit guides. And sometimes their spirit guides are screaming at me. And I'll have what I want to talk about already written down or already in my mind. And they'll be screaming at me something else because they know who's going to watch this. These sessions are timeless. So whenever you see it is when it's meant to be seen. All right, moving along. I will pull like a couple of cards, although this is not what I plan to do. I feel led to do it. The first one is Star Brothers. It's Horus energy, protection, loyalty, and safety and trust. It's crazy because this is what we were talking about. I don't know if you can see that. Don't mind my nails, y'all. It need to be done. Activated earth, power places, ley lines, and trust where you are led. And this is what I mean by being able to know that you're in this realm, but you're also here to. Your gifts are activated in this realm for a reason, and you have to trust where you're led. You can't be worried about this and that and the stuff that the world is worried about and concerned about. Like, I know we all have bills, we all have expenses and different things, but if you lived as long as I have and noticed that even when you're without things that you're okay and that things tend to come and I'm still alive and it's nothing to be all upset about. If one thing ends, then something else is going to begin. It's not always going to be comfortable. The addiction to comfort also brings bad things happen to you because it's trying to break that addiction to comfort. So if you stop running away from issues and go ahead and face it, activate your gifts, go ahead and face it, go ahead and do what you're told to prevent having unnecessary problems come up, everything is okay then, you know. Deep cellular healing, physical and emotional healing. And I feel like this is for more than one generation. I feel like this is generational and it's coming up. There's a lady that has kind of she's got curly hair and it's kind of a afro curly hair and she wears it down the middle. I don't know if you're on here or not, but you're getting ready to go through a transition where you have like there's over 14 generations of like deep cellular epigenetic type of, it's genetics, but it's still like, it goes way back of healing in some areas that you're getting ready to experience. Your soul is going to remember some gifts because you've done all these things before and you came back to help some people and help this new world unfold. We're at a pivotal point right now and you were needed here. So that's the energy that's coming up there. That's good. And this says, you got the love. Codependency and boundaries. Be careful. Water your own garden. Let's not look for other people to do things for us that we won't do for ourselves. We want them to figure out. That came out again. Deep cellular healing. I think I'll just go ahead and read the book on that too. Although I know these cards and I'm not a reader like regular reader, I'm also like a person that's just very intuitive. So I look at the cards and I have my own meaning for cards. Sometimes I do feel the need to go in and read the book. So, page, let me find it. Deep cellular healing, physical and emotional healing. Your body knows how to heal. Your spirit does too, by the way. It takes instructions, like your body takes instructions from your soul. Your soul takes instructions supposedly from your spirit, but it can also take instructions from your surroundings. That's why your mind and your soul and your will and your emotions are what we always talk about the most, because that is what comes out in this physical realm. Moving right along. Physical and emotional disharmony can be a reflection of how the world, inner and outer, has been out of alignment. If you're suffering from a mystery or a chronic illness, don't allow yourself to think you've done something wrong. Today is difficult to navigate our health. This card has made its way to you, and you're being called to focus on healing in practical ways. That's good. To prioritize your health and be kind to and tender to your miraculous body. To give yourself grounding and care. To put your body first. I say put your spirit first, then put your soul, and that's going to help your body. But I'm going to read the book. Nourish yourself as you would a newborn baby. Try to treat yourself with tender love and care. You may be called to switch things up with your body and your emotional well-being. Called to learn more about yourself. Team up with other helpers to support and navigating any challenges you may be experiencing emotionally. And that's what I'm here for. That's what I meant a few minutes ago when I was talking about, like, even if you don't have people around you Sometimes your team and your tribe is going to be people that you don't even know. Like, usually that's who it is. It'll be people that you have no idea, like, in the natural who they are sometimes. Or it'll be people that are not blood related to you sometimes. There's different ways. So be open to love. You got to open your heart chakra. Have boundaries and have limits on what you will allow, but also at the same time make sure that you open your heart and make sure it's accessible to those who are supposed to be there, and you support them and they support you. So the Arcturians were a galactic group of beings who have mastered deep cellular and emotional healing. They want you to know that it's possible to feel feel vibrant in your body and in your skin, and you have cells return to effervescence and vitality, and you find calmness and bliss. To have a soothed nervous system and a tranquil heart. Place this card on the portal of your heart and say, I take back my vitality and energy, and I feel more and more healthy each and every day. My body knows how to heal. My body knows how to heal. And you can say that as many times as you need to. Also, mudras are very important. The Healing Power of Mudras is a book that I'm ordering. I do have mudra cards, and I do practice different things on energy healing. I'm pretty much, I operate as a shaman somewhat. Like, I know I don't look like the type, but I actually do help a lot of people heal, and I study energy centers in the body past the 7 chakras that most people talk about. So there's a need for healing and paying attention to your body. And it's okay to not have everything together all at once. I mean, you might be feeling lonely and feeling like left out or feeling like nobody understands and different things, but there's a soulmate energy that's around that if you have not already encountered this person, they are definitely on the way in. And whoever this person is very loyal. There might have to be a shift and a change in the wind for you to be able to get to this person or them to get to you. Right now, you're supposed to be mending yourself. And yeah, it came right back out. Chaos and conflict. I know those sound like 2 words that most people don't even want to talk about. But chaos is where everything begins. You have to put it into order. But everything is there. So everything that we get will come into alignment sooner or later. The card number is 33. That's a master number. It's also, you might want to look that up and see what the master number 33 represents. I know it also represents the vertebrae, like your study Kundalini and vertebrae and degrees and different things like that. You'll see a lot. I'm not going to go too far into that. I am going to be doing like, I'm trying to develop a course that I can teach different things and different subjects on, or at least have videos where I record and people, private videos that we just come in. I know I'm looking down, y'all. I got to look down to read this and find this. Okay. Disarray, being at cross purpose and with another, intention of opposites, and the value of chaos before order. See, there is a value in chaos before order. You have to have something to get something out. Some of you feel chaotic and you have chaotic energy around you, but it's because you just need to put it into order. It's not that it's all bad. It just needs to be channeled correctly. The opposing come together to create turbulent atmosphere, but consider the value of chaos that serves you well and become unmoved by it. Scatter to the winds, you leave behind parts of yourself you no longer need and disperse seeds to reinvent yourself. And that's what I meant when I said I had to reinvent myself. Although the conflict appears to exist externally, the essence is also internal, projected outwardly, causing disarray. You may find yourself at cross purposes with someone else, facing a storm you feel you cannot control. Yet every storm passes. Just like I said a few minutes ago when I didn't even have these cards out, things pass, things go on, things change. If you're in a bad situation, just remember that change is inevitable and it's going to happen. And think about all the times when you thought there was no way out, but here you are now today, still alive, still doing well. So sometimes chaos leads to reordering of things. Conflict provides the way to see more than this one side of a situation and look upon this as just a moment in time when you may need to take shelter, step away. That's what this whole conversation is about today. Step away. Don't be too eager to fight. This is a time to understand and understand rather than to be understood. Stubbornness might be keeping you in a stage of opposition. So sometimes you're going to have to be a little flexible or whatever. Circumstances may be appearing to be chaotic in your surroundings, but everything happens now is in truth shaking things up so that you can find the real path that you're supposed to be on with prosperity. I'm going through that right now. Please do not get into a funk and get discouraged and get confused or whatever. At this point, if you do that, you can cause things to happen to you exactly the way you don't want them to happen. So it's not a good thing to let yourself get caught up when a feeling or a thought comes to you. If it's not one that's going to edify what you're doing, let it go. Replace it with something else that's more positive and high vibing. If you're always insisting on doing things yourself, have a little help, have a little faith that help will come. You are not doomed to carry the whole world on your own shoulders. And it can seem like it because if you're, like I mentioned before, if you're someone like me who is not really around a lot of people to even understand your needs or understand you, or sometimes don't even care, it would seem like nobody is coming around that even can help. But you have to put it out there, and that's what will attract people to you that will give you what it is or help you with whatever it is you need help with, and you them. Sitting and suffering in silence has been one of the things that I had to break myself from doing. I'm still working on that because I didn't feel like anybody cared what I needed and what I wanted because nobody ever really asked. Usually if people are kind to me, they give me what they want me to have versus what I really need. I'll be sitting over here worrying about bills or worrying about something that's very important to me. And while I appreciate people giving or whatever, I was just having this conversation with a person where I said, I like to be that person that studies people and give them what they need versus what I want them to have because it's more personal to them. Nothing makes a person feel more unseen than someone always giving them what they would want or what they would like for them to have and not seeing them, even with our children. I always said, I'm going to give my children everything I never had. And I tried that and I almost ruined my kids because they didn't need what I wanted. It wasn't for them. They needed something totally different. You can't give people what you think that everybody, that they would want, that you would want. You also don't need to base what you give people or how you show up for people based on whether they're male or female or whatever. A lot of people say, oh, men want this or women want that. Well, what about the individual person? Because they might not like it. I'm one of those females that they ain't never been into Valentine's Day, never been into anniversary celebrations, all that type of stuff, the holidays. I like Christmas because, I had children at the time. When I had children, I like seeing their faces light up, but I also like seeing my children's faces light up every day. So their birthdays and different things like that. You know, it's normal to them to celebrate things like that because they live in a world they don't understand sometimes that, you know, just seeing them light up, seeing people light up on days when it's not a holiday is my favorite thing. So surprises of things that I have studied about a person that they might need and they don't even know is coming. I love that. That's me. And I like things like that for myself too. And here recently I have gotten a couple of things from a person who gives me thoughtful gifts. They know I like books, so he'll buy me books. He knows I like what else? I like protective amulets and jewelry. So, you know, like, you know, things like this and this. So, yeah. So recently I've gotten gifts like that because this person has studied me long enough to know what I like. There are some things that he did not know I like. He's not my man. So, you know, he's not obligated to do anything for me. So I'm very, very grateful for him because not only did he send me some things that he likes, he also sent me things that he knew I would like. So that's very special. That's very, very special to me. You gotta make sure that when you're going through this journey that you're not upsetting yourself about things. Love is one of those things that's very, very, very forgiving and it's very tolerant. So it does not insist on always having its own way. So we have to learn to be grateful for things and grateful for people. I'm not losing my train of thought. I'm getting downloads while I'm talking. So if I get quiet, that's because I'm hearing something that probably has totally nothing to do. Thank you, Spirit. Or I ain't gonna say it'll have nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but it'll be something else that I'm probably having to deal with. Anyway, let me go ahead and get these chakra cards out, the mudras. Now I'm gonna let y'all go because we're already 56 minutes in of me yammering and being long-winded. It's okay though. I don't come on very often, so when I'm on here, I just go ahead and try to get things out. Yeah, somebody's not been feeling free to express themselves or being open or balanced or whatever. These mudras are about freedom and purification. Eucalyptus is really good to use for this one. Sometimes you can put, I know it's gonna sound crazy, I got this from Brother Panic. Tiger Balm or like wintergreen or Tiger Balm. He used Tiger Balm Ultra. I like it because I know what's in it. And you can put it on your eye, third eye. You can put frankincense oil, different oils. But eucalyptus, Vicks Rub even has eucalyptus in there and camphor. So like a dot of that here and at the nape of your neck and even by your ears, wherever your gates are, can help you to, and especially your throat, to help you purify and gain freedom. Now, openness, balance, and metabolism. Direct your breath and awareness to your neck, throat area, and throat area, cervical spine, which goes back to that 30-33 that I was telling y'all about your spine, your vertebrae, and different things like that. It does help with this part of your spine. Releases tension from your neck and your jaw and helps you to balance your energy. Bring your left hand in front of your heart. Place the palm facing in and the thumb facing upward. Cross the back of the right hand with behind the left hand and the palm until the thumbs meet. Interlace the thumbs. Fan the rest of the fingers out and bring the mudra to your throat center. Relax your shoulder and align your spine. And that pretty much I'm trying to make sure I can show it because it's going to look backwards to you all, but it pretty much looks like this. And you interlace your fingers like this. And make sure you spread those fingers out. And when you place them by your throat, it'll kind of look like you're clutching your invisible pearls, kind of. And you say, I embrace the freedom and openness of my pure expression. I embrace the freedom and openness of my pure expression. And you can do this as many times as you need, but make sure your spine is aligned and you're, Also, eucalyptus tea helps. Camphor, burning camphor blocks, camphor incense does help. Mental clarity and purity and spaciousness enhances your circulation to your neck and throat and thyroid. It releases tension from your neck. You all, moringa helps with that. Sea moss helps with that too. Can't think of anything else right off the top of my head, but I know those two help. If you have hypertension or hypothyroid, use caution. By embracing purity on all levels, I open to greater expansion. And this, you bring the tips of your thumb to touch the base of your ring fingers. Extend them outwardly away from the body and rest the back of your hands on the top of your thighs and relax your shoulders and down and align your spine. And say, by embracing purity on all levels, I open to a greater expansion. And it would look like this, basically, y'all. It looks like this. Like this. And I lay it on my thighs and I breathe. Sometimes I have to breathe a few times in through my nose, out through my mouth, to shift into that mode. But y'all, also the heart brilliance. You will be, and if your heart has any issues, this might be a little difficult for you to do, but it'll get better as time goes on. It seems kind of weird, but this is how that goes. Inner light, focus, and radiance. Directs breath to the heart, chest, and ribs. If you have any heart conditions or hypertension, use with caution or don't use it at all. Just say the affirmation. I embrace the radiant brilliance of my loving heart. And be liberated in that. Be liberated in that. Your inner truth is going to probably differ from the inner truth of other people. Does not make yours wrong. Honor it. So I'm going to end it right there, you guys. I'm sure I'll be on again soon. I'm going to do that Valentine's spread for people, things you might want to know, things you need to know. I know it's all over the place again, like I said, but then this is a collective thing. If you want something that's personal to you, contact me. Reach out. Contact me. And we can set you up a time. I can either record you something or I can speak with you over the phone. Right now, I'm not really having I'm not really all that. I'm a little bit more flexible than I normally am with personals right now. So this will be a good time to do it if you want it done. Also, this is a good time of the year to go ahead and start doing things leading up to that. So if this was all over the place and you could just eat the meat and throw away the bones, or set the other part aside until you need it. Come back to it later. You might see something you need. And if not, then there's a million other readers, or I hate to say readers because I'm not a reader, so per se, but there's a lot of other people in YouTube, in tarot land and other things, that they just specialize in just strictly, tarot or readings. I'm not that person. Might not be for you. Anyway, thanks for joining. Thanks for my A1 Day Ones. Like, share, and subscribe, and share it with somebody else if you find it something that's helpful to you. All right, till next time. Bye.